We've looked at how to verify inverses and how to find inverses of matrices. And now we're going to kind of get to where the rubber meets the road in this whole section of solving systems of equations and inequalities, to how to use an inverse to solve a system of equations. And of course, we need to have a word problem because we love word problems. And so let's see what we have here. Dante and Erica just returned from a comic book store that sells new and used comic books. Dante spent $11.25 on 3 new and 4 old comic books, and Erica spent $15.75 on 10 used and 3 new ones, comic books we're talking about. And notice here's where they're trying to trip you up. They reverse the order. Dante spent $11.25 on 3 new and 4 old, and Erica spent $15.75 on 10 used or 10 old and 3 new ones. Now, if the comic books of one type, new and used or new and old, are sold at the same price, in other words, all the news are at the same price, all the old ones are at the same price, what is the price in dollars of a new comic book? And we can solve this by using a system of equations. Now, the first thing I need to do is I need to establish some variables. And we can say that X equals the new comic books and Y equals the old comic books. And now I want to put this into a system of equations. So I can have one equation. Now this is Dante. He gets 3 new, 3 times X, 3 new comic books, and 4 old, 4Y, and he spends $11.25. So that's equation number 1. And equation number 2 for Erica is she buys 3 new and 10 old. 3x plus 10y equals $15.75. Now, in order to use, or I can use, let me say it this way, I can use an inverse matrix to find the values of these two variables, x and y. And I can set up, and let's say that A equals a matrix of the coefficients of the variables, see 3, 4, 3, 10. You can see how that relates. And then I can set up a matrix of just the constants, 11, 25, 15, 75. And then if I multiply the inverse of matrix A, my coefficients of the variables, the inverse of that times B, which is the matrix of the constants, that is a solution to the system. Now, we know also that in order to multiply two matrices together, that the number of columns in the first matrix have to match the number of rows in the second matrix. And so I've got 2 columns and 2 rows, so I can in fact multiply these together. Now I'm going to move to the calculator, and we're going to enter these 2 matrices, and then we're going to take the inverse of matrix A and multiply it times matrix B, and that's going to give us a value for both the x and the y variable. And the x will be on top, and it'll be a 2-row, 1-column matrix. Rows, columns, that's how we get the product. And this will give us actually both the x and the y variables, but we're just actually trying to find the price of the new comic book. But we'll also get to what the price of the old comic book is. All right, so let's move to the calculator, and we shall go. All right, so I'm over here, and I'm going to enter these 2 matrices very quickly. So I hit second matrix. I'm going to choose matrix A to edit first. And if you recall, that's going to be a 2x2 matrix. I'm okay there. And let's see, we got, I had 3, 4, and then 3, 10. So that's how I set up my matrix. So I'm cool there. Hit second quit. And I'm going to go in here and edit matrix B for my second matrix, which was a 2 by 1 matrix. So I got 2 by 1, 2 rows, 1 column, and that was 11, 25. That's the matrix of the constants from my system, and 1575. All right, so I got that. Now, we're going to take the inverse of matrix A. So I'm going to, here in the math screen, I'm going to hit second matrix. I'm going to choose matrix A. But I'm going to take the inverse of that. And again, I'm going to get the inverse by clicking on this x raised to the power of -1. And we're going to multiply that times matrix B. I'm going to choose option 2 here. And I'm going to hit enter. And Shazam, I got a matrix of $2.75 and 75 cents. Now the x value, the x variable in this equals $2.75. That's the price of the new comic book. That's what I was asked to find. But I also know what the old comic book sold for too, and that's 75 cents. And you could go back to those two equations in our system and substitute in $2.75 for new and 75 cents for old. And in each case, for both Dante and Erica, you'd come up with, in Dante's case, you'd see that with 3 new and 4 old, he did in fact spend $11.25. And Erica, who bought 3 new at a price of $2.75 and 10 old at a price of 75 cents, she spent $15.75. Now that's pretty amazing, be able to use matrices to solve systems of equations. A whole lot easier than using substitution and elimination in many cases, isn't it? I wonder why they saved the best for last.